take army with him, because this fellow will destroy all the armies. Normal human beings cannot face this fellow. So Krishna did not want that these people should be destroyed. He went alone, destroyed all these things and killed him. After killing him, he has put the son of this fellow on the throne and said, behave properly, not like your father. You behave normally. And he allowed the son of this fellow to rule the kingdom. And this fellow was a devotee of Krishna. Afterwards he became devotee, and he behaved normally, no more Atlantic behavior. Only this fellow was Atlantic. And all those demonic armies who were there with him were destroyed. And normal people were protected, even in his kingdom also. That is the Lord. He did not destroy the kingdom. He did not destroy the normal people. Only eliminated these Atlantean fellows. So this is the Atlantean force. So now we have to see in the present day what happens with this. Very strong Atlantean forces are there. Yeah, they want this Atlantean forces try to create in the minds of people, drive towards a war and destruction. That is the problem. So how we have to behave is, we should always hear the secret. If we want to fight with them, then we will be destroyed. We should not enter into any sort of conflict with them, with these forces. They want us to come into conflict. That is the key. That is their business. These Atlantean forces, they behave in such a manner that we get angry upon them and get into conflict, then we are destroyed. So we should not enter into conflict. No war, no conflict. Then they cannot do anything. They are disarmed then. When we avoid conflict with them, then they are disarmed. That is the only way. That is the formula given by Krishna in the music of the soul, which you are studying in the morning. Master Ike has given this music of the soul, in which he has shown how Lord Krishna could give a formula for us, how to deal with the demonic forces, not entering into a conflict, but how to neutralize this. You can neutralize this when you will not resist or get into conflict, but keep doing all positive in your mental and physical attitudes, completely, totally positive acts, then they are disarmed. That is the only way. See, it is it's a game. Yeah. Yes. Because these forces are also well acquainted with all these phenomena. They know all these sciences, but the only thing is they do not apply for the welfare of humanity. They want to apply this on the opposite side, in the opposite direction. They know this, but their application is different. For example, if you have a knife, you can use it for cutting the wood, for cutting the vegetables, and also you can use it to cut the heads. So how you apply it differs. So this fourth type of energy thus expresses itself in cooperation with the first type, because we are still Atlantean in our polarization, and the civilization was the fourth in order. It is very largely the work done in our fifth civilization, our present Aryan race, which will, in cooperation with the fifth principle of the mind, bring a shift into a higher level of consciousness. This will produce harmonizing of all centers through an act of the will, intellectually, intelligently applied, with the objective of producing harmony. So the harmony, will to good. This point warrants thought. On the astral plane, there will also be found in every astral body 7 corresponding focal points. Here what we have to understand is, because this is also explained in homeopathy and these sciences of health, holistic, the so-called holistic sciences, that whatever happens in the physical body, it is governed by the activity on the vital or the astral body. So therefore, on the physical we have 7 centers, means also there are 7 centers on the astral, 7 focal points, corresponding focal points, which energy can enter, raying forth then into the vital centers in the etheric physical body as 7 differentiated types of effects, types of force. So this correspondence of astral and physical, we have to always remember. So on the physical level, whatever is established or manifested is the result of the activity on the vital and astral levels. These types of force produce both bad and good effects according to the quality of negative dense physical body. Thus, these differ according to the type of ray or force. And it may be interesting if here I indicate to you the good and the bad effects and the corresponding diseases. So that is why he is coming to because this is the study of health and diseases and healing. So that is why he has given this. And what are the good effects, what are the bad effects, what are the diseases, that is also he has given in the form of the table. So this table also is very important for us to note down, because that is very important for further study. Astral force. Center. Bad aspect. And then corresponding disease, and then the good aspect. So first ray, will or power. And the center is head center. And what is the bad aspect is self-pity. Self-pity dramatic, the dramatic I means I am. That means the not real. And the corresponding disease is cancer. And the good aspect is sacrifice. And dedication of the I. Sacrifice. Second ray. Dedication of the I am, I. Second ray is love wisdom. Love wisdom. This is heart center. Love belongs to heart center. Heart center. So bad aspect is self-love. And the disease is heart trouble. And stomach trouble. And the good aspect is soul love. And group love. And then third ray activity. Third ray is activity. Third ray is activity. This is sacral center. Sexuality and overactivity. Overactivity. And the disease is social diseases. And the positive aspect is parental love. Parental love and group life. Group life. And then the fourth ray that is humanity. And this is Agnya or the bro center. Selfishness. And dogmatism. And the disease is insanity. Insanity. And good aspect is mysticism. The fifth ray is knowledge. Fifth ray is knowledge. is throat center. Lower psychism, wrong metabolism, the disease. Wrong metabolism. Wrong metabolism in certain centers. The positive aspect is creativity. Creativity, sensitivity, and inspiration. And then sixth ray, is devotion. The solar plexus. Emotionalism is a bad aspect, is emotionalism. Nervous diseases. Nervous diseases, gastritis, and liver trouble. Positive aspect is aspiration, and right direction. Then seventh ray. Organization. And this is base of the spine, center. Negative aspect is self-interest. Pure selfishness. And black magic. Diseases, heart diseases, and tumors. Positive aspect is white magic. Page 51. On the 50. Lower psychism. The using the psychic things for the lower instincts, to fulfill the lower instincts. Yeah. Social diseases are, for example, the venereal diseases. Please remember in studying this tabulation that it is a generalization. It is generally given. That is what he is telling. It is generalization and only a partial listing of the types of disease which can be the result of the inflow of energy. Even the disease also the result of the inflow of energy. This we have to always remember. The disease is also the result of the inflow of energy where the vehicle could not receive and was not able to distribute this energy properly. That is why the inflow of energy causes disease. Otherwise, the inflow of energy should give you life force and health. But the inflow of energy also can make a disease, because when your vehicle is not fit properly, then the inflow of energy causes disease. It is only intended to be suggestive. The complexity of the human equipment and the intricacy of the ray energies are such, no hard and fast rules can be laid down. So this is general, that is why he is telling it is generalization. The ray forces manifest differently according to ray type and point of evolution. There is therefore no contradiction here to the previous tabulation. Otherwise, if we don't mention this, then you will compare both the tabulation, and then you will be confused. Therefore, you have to remember there is therefore no contradiction here to the previous tabulations. If you bear in mind that every human being is basically an expression of the 5 ray forces. So every human being is an expression of 5 ray forces. What are the 5 ray forces? One is the ray of the soul. Soul, personality, and mental body, and astral equipment, physical. Physical, astral, mental, personality, and soul. So, every human being is basically an expression of the 5 forces. This we have to remember. It will become apparent that for the average person, 2 such tabulations would have to be drawn up for average person. So, he gives very clearly, because unless we know this, we cannot understand the cause of a disease, and we cannot understand how we have to reverse this and bring healing. So healing is not just our feeling. Energy harmonization. And energy harmonization can be possible by following these regulations in life, and also the vehicles of the healer should be pure. The physical, astral, mental, the higher knowledge. Unless you have a pure vehicle, because it is just like very simple. If the conductor is a bad conductor, the flow of electricity is obstructed. So the flow of electric power depends upon the quality of the conductor. In the same manner, the flow of healing energy depends upon the quality of the healer. And the quality of the healer depends upon how he realizes these principles and follows them in the physical level, daily life. So this is the secret. Vasudeva. Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So yesterday there is this tabular form, what is given about this. Two tabular forms are given. One about the center and correspondence to the ray, quality and the origin. And the other is this astral force, center, bad aspect, and disease and good aspect. So he says that please remember studying this tabulation that it is a generalization, it is given generally and only partial listing of the types of disease. It is partial listing of, it is a list of the partial types of the disease. The partial list of the types of the disease is given, which can be result of the inflow of energy. So the disturbance of the disease is the result of the inflow of energy. It is only intended to suggest you the complexity of the human equipment and the intricacy of the ray energies are such that no hard and fast rules can be laid down, because the human constitution, human equipment, human constitution is very complex constitution. So sometimes if you see these rules and all these things, sometimes it may not fit within this. That is what he says. The ray forces manifest differently according to the ray type and point in evolution, because the degree of evolution differs from one person to other person. So that is also an important factor. If you bear in mind that every human being is basically an expression of 5 ray forces. We have 5 ray forces. Soul, personality, mental body, astral equipment, and physical nature. So physical, from below it is physical, astral, mental, personality and soul. This way, these five we have to correlate with the five planes of consciousness which often we are studying about it. And that is common in the classes, in the astrology class and also in this class. We have to always remember about the five planes. Annamaya, that means physical. Pranamaya. Here in this terminology called vital, but it is very close to what you call the astral. And Manomaya. Is mental. Vijnanamaya. Vijnanamaya is the plane of intelligence. That is what is called here as personality. And the highest is Anandamaya. Experience plane. That is what you call the soul level. These are the five rays. Ray. Yes, because these are the all the planes are to be understood as the radiation, because all what we have, the totality of our human body, what you see as in all these planes, is the sun's beam that is focused. That we have to remember. There is a focus of the sun's beam only manifested in the form of the five rays, which constitute the five planes. It will become apparent that for the average person, two such tabulations would have to be drawn up. Because when you remember this order, from the subtle to the grosser or grosser to the subtle, from above downwards is from subtle to the grosser planes. From below upwards is from grosser to the subtle. These two we have to remember.
From sun they are receiving 7 rays. Why is
It is not constitution, it is five levels, five levels of consciousness. 5. This is, and this fifth one, yesterday Punaya was explaining, the fifth one, Anandamaya, is subdivided into 3. Nirvana, Paranirvana, Mahaparanirvana, yesterday. So in the, then 4 plus 3, 7 it becomes. These are 7 layers of consciousness. We must always try to study this in a synthetic manner. If you are analytical, then you are lost. That is what also the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. I am giving you all this vision, all this wisdom in synthetic manner, in synthesis. Then it will be possible for us to understand and to correlate. The 5 energies, 5 rays, they are made up of the same essence. There would be required the positive analysis of the astral forces as they express the personality. There would be required the positive analysis of the astral forces as they express personality. The analysis of the soul forces as they are faintly indicated. A negative analysis concerning what is not present in the equipment can be of little value here. So he has given only certain hints about the analysis what is given. It will again be necessary to have an analysis of the forces playing through the physical body from the astral plane. So the physical body, this always we have to remember, the physical body is a resultant but not an item by itself. This is a very important, it's not an item. Generally for our normal understanding, our physical body appears to be an item. But it is the resultant of the working of the forces. The best example for this is that when we make a tent, all of you know what tent is. We have previously also we have discussed about this example, but we forget that is very important. Because physical body, what is physical body? With this example we can know, we can understand properly. The tent, we sleep in the tent, inside the tent, we use the tent, we live in the tent. But what is the tent? So, before making the tent, if we observe, it is only a type of cloth with some ropes and with some iron nails which we fix. So this iron nail is not tent, rope is not tent, the cloth is also not tent. And this shape of tent can be kept in equilibrium when you pull this in different directions with the ropes and fix them with the knots. Then what is happening? The lines of forces that are acting along the ropes that are pulling, this makes an equilibrium of the shape, and the shape we call tent. So now you can understand, tent is not an item. There is no item like a tent. It is only cloth. A cloth and ropes and the knots. Because of the pulling in different directions, there is an equilibrium maintained between these four different forces. And therefore, this equilibrium appears with a shape to us. That shape is what we experience as a tent. We can sit under it, we can sleep under it, whatever we want to do. So our physical body is exactly like this. It is the resultant of so many forces at work, with the energy flowing through the forces. Through these different lines of force, the energy is flowing. The pour down of the energy through these channels, that makes an equilibrium, and that equilibrium is what we call our body. When this equilibrium is disturbed, the body does not exist, then we call it death. When there is a circus, Russia is very famous for circus. So a huge tent is made in a big ground, a big area, empty ground. They make a huge tent, and under the tent there are animals, and there are humans, there are machines, and there is all the chairs show and all these things. And they make all gymnastics and all these things under this tent for 1 month or 2 months at that place. And when the program is finished, next day when you go there, nothing, all this is folded down. The animals are in the trucks, and all these fellows in the trucks, machines. And where is the tent? No tent. All folded down, rolled down, and put in. So, similar to physical body. Yes, finished performance. And they will be transported to another place, again to erect the tent. So similarly, we are transported into another incarnation, in the womb of another mother, and there again they start building the tent. Yes. So now you can clearly understand with this example what our physical body is. But during the period of this play, it is a truth, then it is existing. It is not untruth, it is not false, it is true. Under that only you have all the play and all these things of circus. In the same manner, we have this mundane existence in this world with all our experience and all these various things. So this we have to remember, that it is always temporary. Yes, solar system also the same, in higher magnitude. The solar system, the sun is also having his own span of life. As a very bigger tent, very much larger tent, with all the planetary bodies and all these things. All the shows. Yeah. So always so it is a divine plan. So the plan is permanent. The plan always exists. It is forever. But this is temporary. Form is temporary. Plan is forever. If we remember this, then we have no fear anymore. We only play our role. Why we have to study such books is, when we get this knowledge, we will get into this type of knowledge, then we are liberated from the fear. Yeah. No. Yes. A change of state. Death is only change of state. That is also very well explained in mantra scripture. End means death. An end of one state into another state is what is called death. A block of ice, when it is dissolved into water, it is the death of ice and starting of water. When the water is evaporated into steam, death of water. So, and also sleep is also a type of death. It is a transformation, it is a change of state from one state to another state.
Only that
Form continues, that's all. And memory is also, when loss of memory is also like a death. So all at different levels, change is death. One change from one to another, that is death. And every moment also, we are making inhalation and exhalation is going on. A change is going on every moment. When we know this truth, then we can know that there is no such thing like death, in the sense what we understand by death. Then we have no fear. What the Lord says is, when you know this, then you will have no occasion either to aspire for death or to be afraid of death. Both these things. You need not invite death. I say, I don't want to live in this world, I want to live. You need not tell this. Or if I say, oh, I am afraid of death, these two things will not be there. You will live, continue your work until it is given to you. So, it will again necessary to have an analysis of forces playing through into the physical body from the astral plane, which are received directly from the soul and are therefore a combination of soul force plus the highest type of astral energy. This would be in the nature of a synthetic analysis. This word is very peculiar. Synthetic analysis. And would only be possible in the case of a disciple or initiate. You will therefore eventually have for each person has, first is a positive analysis of the personality forces, primarily of the astral force. Primarily of the astral force, as that is the predominating force. The predominating force in the beings is the astral force pouring into the etheric centers. We have the etheric centers, about which we have also studied the centers. So into the etheric centers there is the pouring of astral energy. That is one aspect which we have to, in each person, this is common for each person. Second aspect is a negative analysis of those aspects of soul energy which are not present. And third aspect is a synthetic analysis based on both of these things. but combining also the record of positive soul expression. Soul expression is there. Soul will express itself. That is the positive aspect. In these tabulations and statements, I have given you much food for thought. Much food for thought. Yes. Yes, because even the masters also passed through all these stages. Without discipleship, they cannot become master. They have to pass through. They have already passed. That is why you see in every book, in the very beginning, what the master gives. This statement is there in every book given by Master Jalkuli. He says, suffice it to say that I am a Tibetan disciple of a certain degree, and this tells you but little. For all are disciples from the humblest aspirant up to beyond the Christ himself. So, all are disciples. All are disciples from the humblest aspirant and new until and beyond Christ himself. I live in a physical body like other men. He wrote this in 1934 on the borders of Tibet, and at times preside over a large group of Tibetan lamas when my other duties permit. It is a fact that has caused it to be reported that I am an abbot of this particular lamasri. I am a brother of yours. This is important. I am a brother of yours who travelled a little longer upon the path. You see, Master Jalkul says, I am a brother of yours who travelled a little longer upon the path than has the average student, and has therefore incurred greater responsibility. The more farther you are on the path, the more greater responsibility is given. So, I am one who has wrestled and fought his way into greater measure of light than has the aspirant who will read this article. And I must therefore act as a transmitter of light, no matter what the cost. I am not an old man, as age counts among the teachers, yet I am not young or inexperienced. See his sentences. I read this passage many times because it is a wonderful expression. I am not an old man, as age counts among the teachers, yet I am not young or inexperienced. My work is to teach and spread the knowledge of ageless wisdom wherever I can find a response. And I have been doing this for many years. I seek also to help Master Moria and Master Kuthumi whenever opportunity offers, for I have been long connected with them and their work. They trained him. That is for 5,000 years. Yeah, he was trained. Since last 5,000 years he was trained. In all the above I have told you much, yet at the same time I have told you nothing. Which would lead you to offer me the blind obedience and foolish devotion with the emotional aspirant, which the emotional aspirant offers to a guru or master, whom he is not yet able to contact. Now, nor will he make the desired contact until he has transmuted emotional devotion. This is most important. We can have devotion, but not emotion. Devotion, but not emotion. Very clearly he is giving. How can we have a contact with the master? That is, he is giving. Until has transmuted emotional devotion into unselfish service to humanity. That if you want to get into contact with the masters of wisdom, the real devotion is only through service, unselfish service to humanity, not to the master. Yes. We need not do any service to the master. He doesn't require any service from us. He requires our service to humanity, suffering humanity. Unselfish service, impersonal service. Then automatically they will contact us. That is the truth. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. No. Very clear. Yes. So completely we must be freed from emotional devotion. Emotion should be zero. And our devotion should be expressed only through service to his. Yes. Not to the master himself. Master, they don't require our service for them. If you find any master who is receiving personal service from the disciple, that itself shows he is not a master at all. Because a person who cannot perform his own personal requirements cannot be a master. Simple.
Yeah, choice of master.
Yeah. When I can tell you, when I was young, since my childhood, first I was with my grandfather. And my grandfather was the first he was given first training. He used to tell me that in the daily life, why you should wake up so early. For this he has given an explanation. He said, you should wake up early, make your physical exercises and your practices and all these, but you have to complete this and be ready by the time of sunrise. What for? If you cannot complete your work before you have to help others, how can you help others? He said. If you are in a position to be helped by others, what can you do to others? He said. He said, if you want to be in spiritual path, be sure physically you must be able to complete your work before sunrise, and then be ready to help others. Then you can have time to help others. That is what he from childhood used to tell. So the Master further says, the books that I have written are sent out with no claim for their acceptance. He said, no claim for acceptance. If anybody accepts or not, for that, not for recognition. Not a question, he said. They may or may not be correct. He is telling the books he has written about the books he has written, he said, they may or may not be correct. They may true